DC Showcase Constantine, the House of Mystery. It's directed by Matt Peters and stars the voice talents of Matt Ryan, Ray Chase, Greg Griffin, Damian O'Hare, Lou Diamond Phillips, and a whole bunch of others. And it starts off with the story of occult detective John Constantine, who is trapped in the House of Mystery, a secret domain where no one can escape from. And of course, he needs to figure his way out before time runs out and he goes completely insane. Hello, fellow DC animated fan lovers out there, and I'm sure there are a lot of you, because let's face it, DC's animated films tend to have a better track record than DC's live action films. Something they're working on, but I think they have a long road ahead of them. That said, the DC Showcase, it's basically a bunch of shorts that they put together. And they started this one off with this John Constantine story being voiced here again by his real life counterpart, Matt Ryan, who plays him, of course, in DC Legends and in his short-lived own series. Of all of them, I would say this one is my second favorite, and I'm a huge Constantine fan, guys. I am so eagerly awaiting for DC to get up off their asses and give us a Justice League Dark movie. But, and I'm talking live action. I'm hoping we get one of those, or at least a television series. They can do a mini series, I'll take that. I'll take like a limited series kind of thing, But yeah, I love the darker elements of of comic books, guys. I love the darker elements of the Justice League stories, DC Metal, Justice League, not Justice League, but DC Black, all these different comic books where they go a lot darker. And of course, Batman tends to be in a lot of them. So I'm glad here they chose different stories, different art styles, of course, to represent different eras in the lifespan of DC Comics. So like I said, they start with Constantine here, who, after, if you saw the last DC movie set in the New 52 continuity, I was trying not to choke on that word. Yeah, if you've seen that movie, it ended a very sad way. All the heroes who hadn't been turned into monstrous half cyborg type things by Darkseid, they basically, most of them were dead, some of them went insane. So John Constantine convinces the Flash to run back and fix it, stop all of it from ever happening. And when he does that, he ends up trapped in the House of Mystery for reasons he can't quite figure out, Now, what I love about this one is I'm sure there are people out there who will see this story and be like, hey, this is kind of similar to the Stephen Strange What If story. And it is tonally a little bit similar in that we have two very egotistical men with a lot of magical abilities who have to learn the hard way that just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. I give this one points for the level of brutality, and I mean, it goes from horrifying to funny to just sad, because being trapped in the House of Mystery, something is basically, without giving away everything, Constantine is living a sort of Groundhog Day in that house, and it's like hell. The Spectre turns up here as well. He's kind of our guide to what's happening to John, and he's more than that. I'm trying not to give it away again. Now, like I said, these shorts were put together, so maybe some of you have seen some of them, like the Blue Beetle short, which I absolutely loved, because it's like, listen, if you're a fan of the classic, way back when cartoons, these like the old Spider-Man, you guys know the meme cartoons look like that. They do the entire Blue Beetle like that, but it's really funny. The dialogue is quite witty. It does poke fun at itself. It is quite self-aware while still telling those types of stories that they used to tell in those cartoons on television back in the day. I guess that would have been like the 60s or something. it was fun. I had a blast with that one. Oh, by the way, like I said, I'm trying not to give away much here, but the Constantine House of Mystery, I would give that one a 6 out of 10. I enjoyed it a lot. The second one on the lineup, let me go in order. Let me have some sense of order here. The second one was, let me remember. Oh, Kamandi, the Last Boy on Earth. And of all of them, this one is surprisingly my favorite. Now, this is a character I knew nothing about going in. I'm like vaguely aware of the comics and that sort of thing, but I don't think I've never read any of these stories. And it's basically about a boy. You do get that Steve Rogers out of time vibe from the way he is, the way his morals, his ethics, his fighting, that sort of thing. But he is young. He's probably about 16, I guess. And he goes to save a friend. They end up getting captured by these race of ape people, like Planet of the Apes style, and they force him to go through a series of tests. Force them, I should say. It's like about, starts off with about 6 or 7 of them, to go through a series of tests to prove if they are the chosen one, that sort of thing. And the reveal at the end is quite cool. I really liked it. I didn't see it coming. But it explains each and every single one of the trials that they have to go through. When you look back at what was said and what the trial was, you realize, oh my god, yeah, that's who they were talking about. So that one was my favorite. I give that one a 7 out of 10. I like the art style. Again, it's more of a throwback, you know, to cartoons maybe from the 80s. This one I would say was from the 80s. But I liked it a lot. I thought it was a strong story. I thought it was interesting characters. And I, for one, would not mind watching this journey continues. Whether it's in comic book form, I'm sure they may not be able to do a series. But if this did have a comic, I would definitely follow this story. I thought it was really interesting. And it was nice to see a version of this particular hero's story being told from another person's perspective. So 7 out of 10, and I think it was the best out of the entire bunch. And then we have one called The Losers. Yes, not the one starring Chris Evans, but kind of similar, where we have this group of men. I think it's like World War II or Vietnam. I think it's more like along Vietnam times, set in that time. And they end up stranded on this island where there are dinosaurs for some reason. There should not be. And there may be a traitor in their midst. I'll leave it at that. I won't say more than that. But I will say this one was a lot more brutal than I expected. So think Skull Island, animated Skull Island. And it's kind of where they went with this. It even had like somebody dying. I don't try not to spoil anything, but you know, the losers here, they're very much like the A-Team, or like I said, the losers, that sort of thing. You know, it's a band of guys who do the right thing no matter what, no matter if they're gonna get dishonorably discharged or whatever. And there's some kind of sci-fi thing going on here, and they decide they will do whatever it takes to stop it and to make sure that kind of power doesn't fall into the wrong hands. So this one is definitely more of your, I know those old movies like Journey to the Center of whatever, or Center of the Earth, and what it is, 20,000 Leagues, or whatever the name of the movie is that kind of feel to this, where you take ordinary men, courageous ordinary men, and you put them in these fantastical situations. So if that's your bag, then definitely check this one out. For me, I would say The Losers was like a, you know what, like a 6 out of 10. Yeah, so I'm kind of coming across the board with this, but okay. And then we had I'm trying to remember all of them. So it was Constantine, it was Kamandi, Blue Beetle, and The Losers, and I think I'm covering all of them right there. So if I look at the score overall, guys, this was fun. I would not mind watching more of these shorts, these DC shorts, and I would give this a 6.5 out of 10. I did like it, and I think it's a fun concept, a fun idea. Yes, it's kind of like what Marvel did with What If, but to be fair to DC, they've done this some things like this before. So, you know, don't be that guy, guys. We can enjoy them both. They're both awesome. Like personally, I'll tell you guys this. Comic book wise, I read Dark Horse, I read Image, I read DC, I read Marvel, but of late I'm really enjoying DC's run of stories, like across the board run of stories. Marvel is it's fine, but I don't know. I haven't found, if you guys can recommend some good Marvel comics for me to read right now. I'm kind of just reading through a lot of different stuff, and I haven't really pounced on anything yet that made me feel like, oh, I can't wait for the next issue of this. As a DC, on the other hand, it's like, oh my god, everybody's run is going so damn good. Whether it's Batman, Action Comics, Detective Comics, the Green Lantern run now is amazing. So yeah, let me know. And that's going to be it for this, guys. So I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. It's always appreciated. If you're new and you'd like to subscribe to my channel, you can click on my face when it pops up right over there. And you can check out past reviews. Marvel and DC is all there, if you're in the mood for it. So until the next one, guys. Bye bye.